Hello, everyone! Once again, finally, to episode or session 149 of Pokerole. It's been a little bit, hasn't it, guys? We had just life come up. When you have multiple players playing something, if things stack up wrong, you can have multiple delays, and that's kind of what ended up happening to us. Just a lot of things going on with a lot of different people. It was all kind of staggered, so one person can play, and then another person can play the next week. That's etc. and so on. It just happens sometimes. Life happens. We never had it stack up quite like this before, but it's nobody's fault, and we're happy to get back into it. Of course, before we begin, I'm not going to waste too much time, but before we begin, if you like the video, do think about giving a like, maybe doing a sub if you feel like doing that, or you can come over to Twitch, hang out with us, maybe subscribe over here. Costs a little bit more to do it here, but you get ad-free viewing and you support us. So think about doing that, or just hanging out, just lurking, just being in the audience is pretty cool. We also have a pretty cool Discord server you can check out if you like. As well, there's a Pokerole subcommunity, other Discord server you can check out off of that one for our game. And also, of course, there's a Coffee link if you want to help us directly monetize the content aside from subs. And a merch store if you want to buy some cool stuff. Also, of course, we have a link to our PokePioneers.mirrorhughes.org wiki for our game. You can learn about character stuff and look at all the recaps of each episode and more. So you can check out all these things, links in description. But yes, hello everyone on table.
Hello.
It's nice to be mostly back with the full crew. For YouTube audience, Tubby is unfortunately having to work today because his work hours are pretty random, unfortunately, right now. But he's kind of here still, where he can be. I'm not sure exactly how much presence he has, but he's going to hang out best he can in the call.
It is very good to be back.
Yes.
I suppose...
Take a little bit to get our momentum back, but I know we can do it.
Oh, I believe we can. But I suppose I should get on with the recap, since it's going to be a smidge longer than usual. So, first and foremost, because we have been absent for so long, I typed up a somewhat lengthy recap in the Discord for my dear players, and I'll just read it back to you all. Generally, I went off of Ennio's excellent work and just condensed everything down as much as possible.
Thank you for the extra work card.
I did it because I knew we'd need it, and it would make for a little less confusion, and maybe it would jog some memories, and y'all can correct me on something if you remember differently.
Okay.
So, we're going all the way back to when Team Cheer returned home to Savantown after their encounters in the Moonlight Ruins. A bit of a somber return, given their haul of victory, Rhyda pushing themselves to exhaustion to teleport everyone home. Squirt is startled by the team's sudden return, but is exceptionally happy. Rhyda collapses and is taken to rest in Riley and Lizard's room by Tucker. Brooke, meanwhile, is attracted by the sound of the forge. There, Brooke watches and helps Blaze to finish his new weapon, Diamond Shard, a diamond dagger that grows into a hefty blade when the crocodile applies ice to it. Tucker retrieves Puppy from the spa, finding that they likely can't keep leaving Puppy there in the future, as they're growing too big and strong. Mild cute note, Puppy called Tucker Mom. Ralph and Mulwile, meanwhile, give noodle fruit seeds to the orchard and see Rise about recipes for the somewhat slimy food. The team eventually convene with Pangoro, debriefing him on the Moonlight Ruins, as well as the missing Orangaroo and Passimian troop. The latter apparently having been spotted by other teams out in the plains, so Pangoro agrees to have the pioneers observe, but not engage. In spite of their absence, Rhyda has been scrying on the team, and then attempts something more dangerous. Scrying on the new observer, which shows them a view from a location above the world, only for the observer to seemingly appear behind them whispering sweet dreams to the now terrified Curlia. After the briefing, the team part ways, needing downtime before they head for the blustery mesa. The day ends with Brooke and Deadeye sharing an unexpected drink together, and they make plans for a brief excursion to the Cave of Mirrors. Tucker takes the mechanical pieces he and Rhyda looted from Moonride Ruins to Blaze, seeking the Charizard's help in making them usable. While he can do so, the helmet is going to be more of a challenge than the sword arm. Tucker then goes back to base and finds Rhyda stubbornly attempting to leave in spite of their condition, apparently terrified that Brooke is in danger. While the Mighty Anna does their best to soothe Rhyda's concerns, at least getting them back to their accommodations. Ralph and Mawile lock themselves in their home and do a Dr. Frankenstein, or perhaps a Dr. Finkelstein, installing Georgie in the ball toy chassis they have. Now freed of the programming shackling their actions and given a second chance, Georgie is thrilled to be back together with his friend. Ralph joking about Georgie being his and Mawile's child, amusingly, even chatting with Mawile about getting married, after everything has calmed down. Then the trio get to work tinkering away with the technological sword scavenged from the fight at the bottom of the ruins. The next morning, everyone finds that Brooke and Deadeye have left. While there is a note left behind, it does absolutely nothing to stem the tides of concerns the others have. Rhyda needs to be repeatedly kept home for their convalescence and recovery, much to their frustration. However, they use their scrying to keep an eye on things, when Deadeye allows it. Ralph is generally the most logical and reasonable of those left in town, believing that Brooke will be fine in Deadeye's presence. While his team are spending time in town, Brooke arrives at the Cave of Mirrors with Deadeye in tow. An odd pair, but one of mutual respect. In the cave, Brooke meets Como, Hakamo, and Zeal. Rather than receiving a standard trial, Brooke is taken to a special section of the cave with multifaceted mirrors, a place for those with many potential paths ahead of them. After some final words of encouragement, Brooke begins his trial. He is dragged into the mirror world by the violent jaws of Leviathan, and awakens on an island. There, he is tasked by the Aspect with choosing to save his teammates, which he manages with creative use of both his abilities and theirs. Though they aren't really there, mere constructs of the trial. In the midst of this trial, Brooke is dragged into the surrounding ocean, down to the floor, where he meets the first host to augmentation, and a dearly lost friend. Scales, Brooke's Pokemon partner back when he was a trainer, reveals their shared past, filling in gaps in Brooke's memory. Intent on fulfilling a vow made centuries ago, Scales, now a grizzled Feraligatr, brings to bear his own blades against his former trainer. The living and the dead clash amidst a maelstrom on the seafloor, with Brooke landing a final, desperate blow on the Revenant. In the end, Scales never wanted to steal Brooke's life, only to see them again. He fades, and Brooke awakens after several days of sleeping in his trial. Now a Feraligatr himself, though not quite the common variety. On his way back to town, Brooke finds he can call upon the spirits of those mighty foes he has vanquished, including his dear friend. Unlike the other phantoms, Scales is coherent and talkative. More importantly, he is willing to recount the years he suffered in the war against the Dead Star. Back in town, time has passed. Rhyda, now recovered, has discovered the team's lumberry tree has finally borne fruit. A highly anticipated boon, as the foes they face will require ample supplies to deal with. Ralph, with assistance from Georgie and Mawile, modifies his zapper with the crossbow pieces to fire at range. Tucker, meanwhile, has been racking his brain on how to have Puppy cared for. In the meantime, he hires another pioneering team to escort him to the seamstress, so he can take the repaired tapestry of ages ago back to the gallantry. There, he receives a newly upgraded maid outfit that has a nice pair of ribbons that allow him to grab things as though he had hands. At the gallantry, however, Tucker finds no one is present. Instead, there is a note left on the locked war room door. It states the knights had gone west to deal with a threat of some kind and would not be back for a while. Both Tucker and Brooke turn heads when they each return to town. Tucker for their exceptional fashion, and Brooke for their new, much larger body. Squirt, in particular, is very excited about Brooke's evolution, happily doodling away. Rhyda is conflicted by this turn of events. Lyre, in their kindness, also brings them art supplies to express themselves when they notice Rhyda eyeing Squirt's crayon drawings. And now on to Ennio's recap of session 148, Talk of the Dead. When Brooke leaves the base to head to the clubhouse, Rhyda tries to distract themselves from Brooke's new appearance by looking for something to do. They spy Squirtle happily drawing Brooke's evolved form and ask him if they could borrow some art supplies. After accepting some paper and a pencil, they head to a table and begin to start drawing. Tucker notices them drawing in the main lobby and looks at what they are drawing, seeing plenty of faded outlines of what he could presume to be erased drawings of Brooke. Lyre notices what Rya is doing and leaves for a while to buy some colored pencils for Rya to use in their sketches. Tucker decides to stay around the base, keep an eye on Rhyda, and test his ability to carry items with his new outfit's ribbons in the meantime. Soon, Ralph returns to the base as well, eager to show Tucker and Rhyda the new weaponry he was able to repair with Mawile. Mawile and Georgie, even though he doesn't make mention of Georgie. Before he can show it off, however, he sees Rhyda and is curious to see what they're drawing, and sees an awkward depiction of Brooke, except with some rounder features and a set of ear-like fins on the head, and cross markings around where the eyes are, among other minor differences. When Squirrel notices people looking at Rhyda's drawing, he also shows off his own, of himself, Big Brother Brooke, and Brooke's friend, Deadeye, holding hands. While everyone cheerfully praises the two's art pieces, Tucker makes plans to try practicing cooking with his new abilities, and notices that Puppy seems eager to try drawing as well, though he asks that Puppy waits until after dinner. Brooke makes his way to the clubhouse to continue showing his new appearance to the guild members. When the club members give him some confused looks, he quickly shrugs it off with a casual quip, letting everyone recognize who he was. As he sits at the bar, Deadeye sits down next to them, and Florence sits on the other, hoping to get Brooke to tell him about his trip to the Cave of Mirrors. Rise greets Brooke from the other side of the counter and offers to prepare some food after the long journey back from the small bit of rhyhorn meat they have left from what Deadeye had brought back before. After a sarcastic jab about how quickly they'd used up the meat he brought back, Deadeye gets up and exits the clubhouse to find more for the guild to use. Meanwhile, Rise finishes up a stew using the noodle fruit Ralph had brought back, and hands Brooke the stew to taste test it. Brooke explains it doesn't taste bad, but the texture leaves a lot to be desired, which seemed to be the consistent feedback from the others that had tested it for Rise. Assuming Brooke would be wanting to meet with Pangoro next, Rise lets him know that Pangoro was currently visiting the orchard. As Brooke gets ready to leave, Florence warns him that Chatot still hadn't left Savantown yet, and jokes that maybe the sight of Brooke's new look would get the babbling bird to shut his beak. Brooke laughs at the toxicity's wit, and proclaims to the other Pokemon at the bar he's willing to take on any challenges of strength from any eager challengers if they approach him before Team Cheer leaves for the Mesa in a few days. Brooke makes his way to the orchard, where he sees Pangoro and Chatot discussing the new crop that Simisage and Simipour had been growing in the field. After the initial confusion from the two about the identity of the feraligator approaching them, Brooke reports to Pangoro about the completion of V and Mowile's requests, and that his team will leave to investigate the mesa after the preparations are complete. After the report, Chata and Pangoro each share information with Brooke regarding matters that have arisen during his absence. First, Chatot reluctantly informs him that, due to a lack of free and willing members of the rescue organization, there are no current plans to replace any of the workers in Savantown. However, he will be continuing to stay in Savantown until further notice, as, until he is required in his role as an auditor again, Chatot has been assigned to work as Pangoro's secretary. Secondly, Chatot informs Brooke about how Team Gallant has seemingly ceased communication with the Knights Council on the Mist Continent, and the Pioneering Club has been asked to investigate what the team's status is. If they cannot confirm that the team is operating, the Pioneering Club would be tasked with having to oversee a group of fledgling knights sent to replace Team Gallant, which would be a less than desirable outcome. Lastly, Pangoro informs Brooke about a group of Salandits who had been roaming around giving teams information. He then hands Brooke a piece of information he'd received that Shaman has fully recovered in Sea Spray, and that Hatterene will remain in the city for the foreseeable future. As such, Team Cheer can expect Riley and Lizard to return to the base in the near future. With all matters addressed, Pangoro confirms that Lurantis will be capable of escorting Team Cheer to the Mesa, and he will let Brooke return to his preparations while he resolves the matter of confirming Team Cheer's reward for Mulwild's mission. After his report, Brooke makes his return to the base and calls for a team meeting to be held. Everyone moves to sit around the table, with Squirtle eagerly showing Brooke his drawing as they settle in. Ralph shows everyone his new crossbow, and lets everyone know that he and Mawile have now agreed to get married after matters with the Dead Star are resolved. Next, Tucker informs the others about trying to find a new caretaker for Puppy, somewhere that could allow them to vent their energy. The team agrees with Ralph and Tucker's idea that Mudbray's Ranch may be a viable option, but it would be best to consult some other Pokemon, especially past caretakers like Rise, on ideas where Puppy could be able to vent their energy safely. Rhyda is next to share, informing everyone about the brief encounter they had with the mechanical Lucario, following trying to scry on it, including its seeming ability to freely locate and teleport to the team's base, as well as its current position in what looked to be outer space. This concerns the party, but Tucker provides the suggestion that its appearance in the base may have been a form of illusion rather than direct teleportation, and Brooke admits that he already expected that they had a way of monitoring the party, considering their past actions. However, it was useful to know that they would be able to sense any attempts from the party to scry on them. With the topic now turned to the Dead Star, Brooke gets ready to inform everyone on what he's learned from the Cave of Mirrors. The others are shocked as a ghostly visage, Scales, separates from Brooke's body and seats itself upon the table. Brooke introduces his companion to the party and explains that he has plenty of past experience facing off against the Dead Star as part of augmentation. Scales recounts to everyone that, while the observers all seem to be powerful, they are definitely able to be destroyed. He recounts how, when Tiber was alive, he had been able to destroy one of the observers during a battle. He presumes this to have been due to whatever sort of power that Tiber had been granted by the observers in the past. As such, Riley, who possesses Tiber's spirit and much of his abilities, should also at least be capable of destroying them, explaining why there seemingly hadn't been any observers going after him as of late. However, that same reasoning might lead to him potentially becoming a high-priority target if they decide they have the required strength to render him unable to combat them. Ralph later speaks up on that matter, remarking on how, if Tiber had fought against the observers in the past, that'd mean Pangoro or Rise may know more information than they let on, but Brooke and Scales refute that argument. Brooke explains that Pangoro seemed genuinely clueless about the observers whenever he mentioned them in reports, and Scales explains that it wouldn't be surprising for Tiber's teammates to be clueless, as the observers adopt an approach that prioritizes revealing as little of their presence as possible to anyone besides their targets. Most likely, the one Tiber had destroyed was the one that the Clockwork Butler had revived in the body of the mechanical Lucario. Next, the team asks about the Clockwork Butler and any weaknesses they may have. Scales recounts what he knows about the Observer, having witnessed their abilities to manipulate time firsthand, both to move objects backwards and forwards through time, and to reverse whatever injuries people tried to inflict. Brooke asks if there's anything Pokemon with time-related abilities could do, such as Celebi or Dialga. But Scales unfortunately tells them that Celebi is capable of little more beyond time travel, and he does not know why, but the observers seem to have done something that stopped Dialga from doing anything to combat their manipulation. Tucker is next to speak up, inquiring as to what the Dead Star's objective may be. Scales explains that from what he's seen, their objective is a world following their own definition of order. Hence, the Observer's tactics of preferring secretive manipulation of events in their favor, rather than wanton destruction. Overhearing the party's confusions as to how a satellite would begin to act in such a way, Ralph explains his conclusion that the Dead Star's current behavior is likely the result of a highly advanced AI that might have malfunctioned and strayed from its intended objective. The party ponders over what could have happened to cause such a malfunction in the first place, but without a clear idea as to what its original purpose was, any further pondering on that matter would grant few results. As his ability to maintain the spiritual form begins to wane for now, Scales speaks up about his stance on the matter, recounting how the legendary Pokemon of the world had failed over and over to put an end to the Dead Star, and, as such, it would be the role of the last remnants of the days of humanity to put a stop to it. However, considering the Dead Star's location beyond the planet's atmosphere, Team Cheer would need to get in contact with Rayquaza and convince them to take them up to the satellite, seeing as few other Pokemon would be capable of such a feat. That would require the party to return to the Dragon's Path and inquire about them to the Dragon Council. Rhyda mentions that, as an acolyte of Eternatus, they may be able to assist in such a matter. Ralph nods and ponders over possibly trying to gain more favor with the legendaries by offering his services as a potential acolyte, but Scales vehemently warns Ralph not to essentially sell their independence and life away to any sort of legendary Pokemon, a comment which Rhyda is displeased at. Brooke remarks that they should not completely close off the possibility if it may be the only option for a needed advantage, and, for now, it will be wise to refrain from getting too caught up in potential eventualities if it will stop them from taking action. With their potential next step in opposing the Dead Star decided, Scales finally returns to rest within Brooke, leaving the party to discuss matters besides the Dead Star. Brooke tells the team that, now that he's reported to Pangoro, he has confirmed that Lurantis will be free to escort the party to the mesa when they are ready to leave. He also alerts the team about Team Gallant's seeming disappearance, which reminds Tucker to inform them he'd seen a note saying that they traveled somewhere to the west of the Gallant Tree. Brooke assumes that the location they were referring to may be Aster Rock, and recalls them mentioning some conflict they had with an opposing squadron of knights in the area during the team's last interaction with Team Gallant. Brooke asks Rhyda if they would be able to teleport the team, Lurantis and Deadeye, for backup to the Gallant Tree. Words. We're almost at the end. And Deadeye for backup to the Gallantry in a few days to investigate that matter along the way. And Rhyda agrees to the request. Around that time, Deadeye arrives at the base and agrees to Brooke's request for him to come along, and dismissively chuckles at Brooke's quip that he is now a provisional member of Team Cheer. With all matters addressed, the meeting is adjourned, and everyone gets ready to prepare for the excursion in 2 days.
You did good. Honestly, one trip up is very impressive, that much reading. Oh. Let me ask just one thing, because, it slipped. I was collecting all the information back in my head, but the Blustering Mesa. The reason we're going there is
because of the soil that's there.
right. We want to pick up soil.
And Brooke also wants to learn rain dance.
I knew there was another reason. There it is.
Yes, there's rain dance. According to Lorantis, the soil is particularly fertile on the mesa, and there may be other things there that you may want, like Brooke's rain dance, but also there could be maybe seeds or something that may be able to survive down in Savantown, or maybe not, because the climate on the mesa may not be exactly the same as everywhere else.
And Brooke hopes to learn rain dance there, because has there been rumors that there are Pokemon there that are doing rain dance, and that's why it's so fertile?
I believe Brooke asked around about it, and Lorantis just piped up at one point, like, oh, there are Oricorio there, you might be able to learn it from them.
Oh, right, yeah. They have a little information in that area. Whew. That was a definitely very useful mega recap.
Also, just to point this out, Squirt and Lorantis were here the entire time that the discussion with the Dead Star was going on. And Puppy.
Yeah.
But Puppy is Puppy, and,
Wasn't there a little line saying that Deadeye may have been, listening in on that, too? Before approaching? I feel like there was a little mention that he was maybe around a little longer than he thought, than it looked like he was.
You guys have no idea how long he may have been listening.
Yeah, we don't know exactly.
And if he was listening the entire time, he hasn't let on.
Right.
So I already showed the new art of Rhyda's of Hydra drew of Rhyda's sketches. I tongue twisted myself there. But there's one other piece of new art I'll show, and I'll just pop it on screen now. This is by It's Sam K, commissioned by Reese. It's just a little thing of Ralph. So since Ralph isn't going to be actively playing, or since Tubby can't actively play today, but at least we have this. At least we have this guy.
Yeah, more or less.
Hello, Tubby.
More or less. I'll be able to decisions and whatnot, but not as attentively.
That's fair. I'll just put Ralph down here for today. He'll be down there. There. But aside from that, let's see. Kyrio says, I'm sure Mewtwo didn't want us causing a panic. Some private conversations with trusted people is probably fine. Yeah, I was actually pondering that Tucker might end up mentioning it to Rise, especially if he's going to go talk to Rise. It may be smart to involve trusted, influential Pokemon, such as, Pangoro's already been mentioned too, so it's possible Rise would learn from him anyways, at least a few details. But influential Pokemon that could maybe help might be worth telling.
If it comes down to it, don't want to spread unnecessarily if we don't have to.
True. I just realized one thing too about the dragons and how we will probably have our interactions with them. They might like Tucker less now. Yeah, I just had that thought.
Because fairy type.
Fairy type. I think fairy is the number one thing a dragon would hate as far as another type, because it's both a weakness and an immunity against, so.
Fair, very fair.
So that could be advantageous too.
Tucker being one of the few typing combinations that has multiple immunities.
Being immune to dragon type attacks is pretty impressive, because a lot of dragon types attacks are overwhelming force, and just being immune to that is actually kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Fairy types are weird. A lot of them look quite frail, but they can deal with overwhelming force.
Yeah. We were having that conversation earlier before everything was started up official about how ice is... Pokemon keep being built as ice or part ice types to try and be tanks, and it doesn't work out because ice is so fragile, but it's a great attack element. Meanwhile, Fairies are spoiled in that they're ridiculously strong and very good defensively.
Fairies really have a preferential treatment a little bit, which is why it's probably good I got that typing a little bit. But oh yeah, I guess just to show everybody, because I noticed, by the way, thank you for coming by, new viewers. I did pick up some new viewers in between all these since the last Pokerole session. I noticed a few of them are showing up now, so welcome to your first Pokerole session. I'm a Mayena in this game, and my character is Dark Fairy because of Special Evolution. Actually, I think everybody's had a Special Evolution, so here's everybody's stats.
Not me.
You will, though, maybe.
You're mid-stage, and there are plans for you. I've been waiting to enact them for so long.
I know, right? Ugh, it kills me. I have the art ready and everything, and I just stare at it sometimes. I'm like, God, you look so good, but I can't show you yet.
Oh, the
tragedy. I don't know. I want it to happen, but also Rhyda needs to have genuine character development. I can't just slap it on like seal tape.
Nah, it makes it more worth it. I just realized, by the way, I think Dark Fairy is the second most powerful type combo, probably behind Dark Ghost. Oh no, Kyrio! Oh yeah, Kyrio! Thank you, by the way, for being able to do Pokerole today. I know that he was kind of rushing a move to be able to get today working. I guess that's why the bike isn't working. That's okay.
Yeah, it is quite all right. I appreciate that you are able to play today, and I really do appreciate that, especially like both Kyrio and Tubby are able to be here today in whatever form is possible. So if your mic isn't working, that's okay. We can do what we usually do. So,
let's see. So we're leaving to the Blustery Mesa soon, and we all have... A few of us have a few mini objectives before then.
So, I'm gonna try and keep this relatively condensed so that we can actually get you all moving again.
I was thinking that too.
You all have 2 days to prepare in whatever way you want to prepare. That includes things like figuring out the situation with Puppy, however you want to do that. That includes any sort of item preparation or purchases that you want to make. And also includes any sort of training or other things that you want to do at the moment.
Yeah.
I will tell you right now that by default, Lyre is going to just be tending to the garden. Squirt is going to continue doing secretary things. Laurentis is in the orchard, obviously. And Deadeye is going to be out hunting.
Probably grumbling while doing so, because it's like, they just eat it all, they're not that thankful. Because he was going to hunt more for the club, I think, for the club food. Well, Tucker will let Brooke know, because Brooke was not around for this. Tucker will let Brooke know about the lumberry harvest in case Brooke wants to grab any in the storage. Because I realized that Brooke doesn't have any of that.
Oh, right, I forgot about that.
I think everybody took a few lumps here and there, except for Brooke.
Probably. Can I make something with lumberry?
Well, actually, Ralph doesn't have any either. But...
I don't believe there are any lumberries left in storage. There are some root salves left.
There's a couple in storage at the top.
There are two.
Yeah, there's a decent harvest, so everybody could technically take one if they wanted to. They don't have to. Maybe Tubby can inform if we should drop a lumberry in Ralph's inventory or not?
Yeah, because I'll let you.
Okay. It's just kind of a good all-purpose thing since it heals all status elements. Like whatever you get afflicted with, it'll help. Let's see.
I think I only have a seed. I don't think I have anything else, but I'll like briefly read off my supplies to you.
Sure, you seem to have... Okay, you have the Zapper crossbow, which is using the magnet of the Zapper, so technically it's all together. You got the long metal box still, the hand-drawn map, sigil shell fragment, lumberry now, and earthshaker pendant, and noodle fruit as stacked.
And you have, it looks like 2,110 money that you can spend.
Oh, he has a lot, actually. Not as much as Rhyda, though.
Well, let's say.
Your money from the V Quest was distributed, so y'all got paid.
I think we all got 1,000 for that or something.
And I will remind you all that there are a number of various items in the HQ, particularly things like held items or garments, that maybe if you give them to Blaze, he can do things with that. Since I know Tucker and or Rhyda are having things made.
Right, and those won't be ready for a while, right?
Correct.
Those
won't be done in 2 days.
We left those outside of our respective inventories because they're not. Theirs is what being worked on. So that helm and the blade are
I will mention that y'all have a ton of Vespid honey.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to,
do?
you can. It's a valuable trade item, effectively, or food. If you want to, you can probably spend a day in the markets trading Vespid honey for something. Or for money, if you feel like you need more money. Oh, hey, there's 3,000 more money in the HQ. I didn't even notice that.
Was that, let's see, was that some of that for,
I think that's supposed to be for Riley.
I was going to say, was that Riley's cut for the V thing, too, or?
I don't remember, but there's money in there.
It's good to know. I feel like Tucker will have his paws full with the two things he's got to do, which, first off, the cooking thing. He wanted to cook after the talk. There was a reason for it besides just being a neat idea to test out the, what's the word we call them? I guess dark ribbons? They're kind of like Sylvian ribbons. But not just as a fun little thing, but also as a kind of a dexterity test, because cooking does require a bit of dexterity, so it's a way to get used to them, is what Tucker was also going to use them for. So the cooking was both a fun idea and a way to get more deft at using these things. So I was thinking maybe I could just do a flat dexterity check or something.
Give me a dexterity. I guess it would be either... I want to say Dex Survival Nature?
Does it does tie into darkness and all? Yeah, I think I would use nature, and probably survival, because I think the survival is the dexterity stat out of the three, probably.
It's the closest thing I can think of for a cooking roll.
Dex survival nature, yeah. There's not like a cooking subcategory stat, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I don't want to drag the game down of a cooking scene, but yeah, there was that idea of like just doing a dex check with having an excuse to do a dex check. Oh, that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah. So, Tucker, you're going to find out that those ribbons have the exact same amount of dexterity as you do in pips, effectively. So while they can only lift things up to 2 strength, they're as dexterous as you are. They're very easy to manipulate.
Ooh. They come very naturally then.
Yes.
Tucker is quite delighted to see that. And this doesn't necessarily mean that the best meal ever is made. It means their dexterity is there. But Tucker is not exactly an advanced chef or anything. I'm not sure how the milk came out, but it probably came out okay.
What are you going to try to make? There are some miscellaneous supplies that you will have for just basic food supplies, because I'm not going to bother making you all keep track of a grocery list. That is not for everyone. If you want, you can use the Vespid honey in your meal.
Oh yeah. Unless anybody opposes it, I think that we will use 1 unit of Vespid honey. And probably some general berries or veggies that are available.
Just don't show Cophagregus any. They'll think it's gold.
Honey is a form of gold to some people. I think I've seen that used as that way. But yeah, just a basic meal, mixing things together. Something nutritious, I guess, since we're using honey and probably some fruits or veggie items. Probably like a sweet salad or something.
I feel like you can make a cobbler with just berries, honey. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, you could make a cobbler.
Is a cobbler like a pie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's well do.
Yeah, it's like a bare bones pie.
Cobblers are tasty.
Yeah.
So, yes. You make a honeyberry cobbler then.
Awesome. And Tucker will try to make it big enough to share with everyone. There's quite a few people at the club or at the base right now. So hopefully everybody gets a decent slice. We have practically infinite supply. Well, it's not actually infinite, it will run out, but sure, let's call it that. Oh, cool, I actually have a honeyberry cobbler piece. You actually made a thinker. Cool.
Well, that is the honeyberry cobbler. The basic effect of it is it's going to heal 5 HP and 2 will points. And I'll say
that's good,
that
actually.
there is enough for 4 pieces.
Okay. Well, in that case, Tucker will distribute to the main party members, since 4 people for portions. So everybody gets 1 of the main team, and they can either eat it right now for a meal, or they can save it since it's apparently a very good meal. That is. I guess it makes sense because the Vespid honey is pretty. I mean, it's honey. It's valuable. It'll have an effect. So I will put a copy next to each person's thing, and they can either eat it or save it for the trip. Since it has honeyberry cobbler, a sweet item with honey, it's definitely going to last a little while. There, everybody has a copy next to their inventory.
Nice.
Yeah, if you keep it as a single item, you could technically use it 4 times, because that's a whole cobbler.
Oh, I see. That's why it's 4 pieces, so...
Yeah, I'm fixing that now.
I see. Well, actually, in that case, Tucker will basically offer everybody a portion if they want to eat it right now, or it could be saved for later. Since it looks like a... I think everybody can basically discern that this looks like a pretty good food for traveling as well, so it's up to everybody's discretion how much is eaten.
Disclaimer, it will not last forever.
No, it's
Yeah,
definitely not
no,
like a
sounds
preserved
good.
item, but... You gave it stats, now I want to keep it for a bit.
I'm aware. This is me rewarding you for using reward items to make stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. And good to know in the future.
I'm thinking, Ralph would be like, oh yes, this will be the perfect send-off food. I'm gonna eat it when we take the first step on our next adventure.
Okay, when we leave town, basically, it's the hooray, we're starting to travel dessert.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that.
I
Have
think-
it like a good meal before we head out.
Yeah, I think
and
I
a
think I
meal
agree.
on the go.
Dessert.
Okay, Tucker will also make that dessert. That sounds like a good idea. Tucker is it looks pretty proud that everybody thinks the meal looks good and is a good meal to have before leaving. I think Tucker has done a little bit of cooking before, but this is definitely the most positive reception it's received.
I will note for Rhyda, if you feel like it, this is also time you can use for alchemy, but I get the feeling that Rhyda has plans.
Well, funny you say that. I was actually looking through my alchemy recipe book. Says, I wonder what materials I can buy with my money. But yeah, on top of going shopping, because I doubt this will take the entire time, Rhyda will have their scene with Brooke at some point. I have planned for them to go shopping for some alchemy supplies and then spend like a day just working on that. Maybe a bit of just training in between, but nothing too extensive where it would need like, you know, like a dedicated focus of, oh, you're getting pips towards X thing, you know?
By the way,
Nice.
where did you get those will restore tonics, by the way, Hydra?
I made them last
Oh.
session.
Yeah. Rhyda is an alchemist.
Yes.
They can make things.
One thing I'm curious about is I have a recipe for a burn self, and I got me thinking maybe I should look into trying to find a recipe for an anti-venom or anti-poison.
Certainly
Well-
gonna be useless.
You have poisonous sledge. So that could at least help you find things that are anti-poison.
I also have a recipe for a poison suppressing bracelet, so I'm pretty sure that equates on some capacity. Rhyda has some clue on, okay, this is how an anti sort of poison thing works.
Yes. You definitely have a way, though it may take you a little trial and error, to make antidotes effectively.
Yes.
I do note that you have like 2 beedrill stingers there. You could probably use them for that.
Mhm.
There's also the Vespid honey, which would probably be good at making that more potent. Also, I think it's adorable that Brooke would be halfway down to biting, that like taking the one whole bite it would take for them to eat their cobbler, and then agree that they should wait.
If anything, that just makes Tucker beam a bit more, see? Then he just chowed down on it immediately.
So, as an aside, I don't have any reviver seeds left, do I? I used the last one to help prevent Rhyda from dying.
That's true, you used up all your... You had some before, but they're all gone. That could be shopped for.
Mhm.
I'm thinking
Yes.
I go into town and buy a reviver seed as part of my prep. I should have enough money to do that.
Let me find it.
I know it's
You
expensive,
do.
but you should.
It is 1,000 poke to buy a reviver seed.
Okay, yeah. It's very expensive. Let's all buy one of those?
Let's all buy one of those.
Okay. If that's a direct order from Brooke, then Tucker will spend all his money on a reviver seed. Actually, wait, Tucker does have one in the inventory. I guess I will ask, is Brooke telling Tucker to get a second one? Okay.
Well, a strong suggestion might as well be in order. Here's 1,000 poke.
Okay, there you go. Also, since some of you are getting very cluttered in your bags, I will just gently remind you that you do have limited space, even though it's 15 items worth of space.
Yeah. I did a little sorting, like, I think the last session I did a little sorting to, like, make some room.
I still got 3 slots.
Also, Tucker, if you had kept the whole cobbler, it would have taken up 4 spaces.
That makes sense, because there is 4 pieces. Oh! Also, Thunder Drake. Thank you for 5 gift subs off to the audience. Thank you.
Oh, goodness, thank you.
Do I have to spend any poke on supplies for this antidote stuff? Or do you think I already have enough?
I think you have the general supplies for it with what you've
Okay.
already got. It would just be a matter of choosing what you're using to make it, and then making your roll to see how successful you are.
Okay, I think I'll probably use... I'll use the sludge first. Oh, no. The sludge is a lot harder to get than a beedrill stinger, but a beedrill stinger can be used for more than just poisonous stuff. As utility. I can get more beedrill stingers. I'll use those.
Yes, you can get more beedrill stingers. Remember, there are beedrill in the market.
Yeah, I know.
Are you going
Easier
to
to get that
use...
than dragon eaters.
are you going to use any honey as part of this? Because there's oodles of it.
I will use honey. Because we have a bunch, and it would increase potency, or I would hope so, of the antidotes.
Also, as a small site, it looks like turn off the ads while also already broadcasting. It does immediately turn them off, it looks like.
Nice.
So we're having an ad-free Pokerole for everyone today. And that's not going to be the case for other streams, just to let people know, but I'm going to do it for Pokerole.
All right. I will answer your question in a second, Kyrio. So for Rhyda, I believe... what did we use before? I know it was smart logic. Something or other.
If I had to guess, survival, but I don't remember.
I think it's smart logic contest perform, because there's nothing in survival that would equate for alchemy.
Fair enough. I will take it. I'm not complaining.
It is a very good roll for you, I'm aware.
12 dice.
Yeah.
I guess my dice is loading for the first time.
Oh, that's okay.
And I think we've talked about that before, Kyrio. Ooh. Oh boy.
Oh.
I'm gonna just assume you did Lucky Chant before you did any alchemy.
Yeah.
So that should be a 3. Not the best when trying to make something new. But the honey does help make up for it. Chocolate coating. Yeah, candied antidote. Or like candied beedrill stinger or something.
We're coming up with new recipes here.
Yep. Honey anti-venom. Very nice.
You only make one, unfortunately. You had to test one of the beedrill stingers, but... Oh, did I just delete something else?
There was something there. I don't remember what that was.
Pardon me?
Oh, what was it? Oh.
Could you... Pardon me, rewinding time briefly.
Understandable. What'd you delete?
Oh, it was the reviver seed, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that would be very important and expensive.
Okay, back to... What song was it?
We were still on
You just deleted
events
something
2.
else over here.
239. It was the mysterious one, right?
You deleted something right here.
What?
Ah!
Here. Maybe just move it away from my sheet.
Tabitha got very angry. I saw an angry face.
Yeah, you deleted the crystal lens that time.
Wait, what's happening? Oh, were we accidentally hitting the delete key?
Car was trying to delete a card, but accidentally kept deleting an addition 1.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Okay, I haven't deleted anything else. I don't know why it was deleting random things.
Okay. I'm just double checking that undoing didn't change anything else we care about. I think we're okay. We didn't do too much, so I think
Gotta
it's
turn
okay.
the music back on though.
Yeah, I forgot what number it was.
We can change it by now.
Yeah, it was the mysterious song for talking, wasn't it? Let's
It
change
was
it.
E249.
Yeah. Which, right, the Story of the Wilds. Also, I will update the playlist reminder. There. Okay.
But yes, want to be stocked up on whatever tonics we may need.
I'm just going to say events to number 32 because we're probably never going to use it. And also, this seems to be a mildly shopping time period.
Okay. Oh, nope, I don't want to say anything. Thank you. Oh, you're not letting me back out of this one. Oh, there we go. Okay. Forgot where it was. Little parade? Okay, here you go.
Yes.
Shopping zone.
A change of pace for everybody.
But yeah, I think that's all Rhyda's gonna do in terms of buying and producing stuff over the 2 days.
Okay. When you go out to market, I assume you're going to want to like stock a number of things so you can make other alchemy stuff.
Yeah. There is also one thing in particular Rhyda is going to keep an eye out for, and that is any components, if they can find any of the transmutation brew.
Did I give you specific components for that?
No, I don't believe so. All I got written down is transmutation, and it's rare.
Give me an insight survival alert check to see if you find any of the ingredients. I think I made it nebulous because it's like, you probably won't find these things on the journey, but we'll see.
It could be fun, though.
I saw those ones. I saw the
And
twos.
Lucky chance to active.
True.
Yes. I will assume for downtime you just have it active just because. I will say that if you spend 600 of your money, you will be able to buy your regular supplies and one of the ingredients for the transmutation recipe.
Done.
I would recommend marking down that you have one of the ingredients.
Will do.
By the way, I should just mention, since there's a moment here. As far as Tucker doing things during this break, the cooking was one thing, the other thing was visiting Rise, so that'll be happening too.
Okay. So, if you want to add the life orb to your coat, Kyrio, or if Brooke tries to add it to their coat, what is going to happen is that one of the two modes is going to grant you an increase in damage, but will add a recoil to your moves. Another thing that could happen is that it increases the damage of the rough skin side of things when it's dry, but when you use a melee move, you take recoil. Just to make it clear that you cannot escape the recoil effect of the life orb.
I'm just organizing.
Okay. I will adjust that then.
So, Brooke didn't actually have to do anything fancy to mix those things together. I guess because it's a code and there's places to put it.
Correct.
Just gives me a thought. Designed to be augmented. Would that apply to my new outfit as well?
I don't know that Tucker would be sure of that. You would have to try. It may be that you need to accessorize fashionably, or your semi-living garment will be displeased.
That's true. It might need certain things. Just giving a thought. Yeah, because it can't be just anything, because otherwise that would just break the garment and held item limit slot idea. Oh, speaking of which, I think my uniform is specifically not counted as either of those, right?
Correct, but that's mainly because it has no effects on it.
Right, if it had an well, it definitely does, because they're creepy ribbons, but they're not a traditional effect.
Correct. They don't provide you any true mechanical benefit other than the fact you have grippers now.
Yeah. Well, the one mechanical benefit is they can use items for me in place of an action. Which I imagine means I could use an item while they're also using an item? As long as I have an action penalty.
Yes. Effectively, they, You can eat an action to have them use items for you.
Mm-hmm. That is less. It is less efficient than me just using them directly, which would not cost an extra action.
Correct.
Yeah.
However, they are separate from you.
Yeah. So they can technically perform something while I'm doing something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, if you happen to get a held item, like, say, an eventual sword, you would need to put that sword down or put it away to grab something from your bag.
Yeah, that's the one downside of, like, having a mouthy held item or something like that. Because, yeah, that would require putting it down or basically de-equipping it just to do something else. But the grippy hands could assist with it. Good night, Ennio.
Night, Ennio.
Good night, Ennio. Alright.
Yeah, I'm just having a pondering because there's a closer piercing that nobody's using, so I was thinking about maybe trying to fix something. But, I don't know. Probably isn't that easy.
Might not be easy, but also I noticed that you have 2 scarves.
Yeah, I do, don't I? I just noticed that too. You know what? I think like wearing one traditionally and then the other one, probably affixing it to the uniform would make more sense. Like put it in a pocket or something. You know how people, I don't know how to describe this, but you know how sometimes people have like a fancy handkerchief that kind of hangs out of their pocket because it kind of adds to the fashion? Like that.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine.
Brooke's gonna spend most of his time dueling other pioneers, probably after that public declaration. Can you grind XP a bit that way? I will allow it. Oh, right. You got Death Grip. I forgot about that. I wondered if I had actually done that. Because I remember coming into the session like, wait, did I remember to make that card for you?
Oh yeah, and all the cool charts.
Correct.
You've been getting progressively fancier with the move cards, and I like that.
Yep. So, while I am conducting the scene with Tucker and Rise. Brooke, you can go ahead and roll... let's see. We'll say Strength Contest Perform, which is a bit of a weird combo, but and give me like 5 or 6 rolls just to see how many combats you get through, or duels. Just don't let Deadeye see you, he'll get jealous. Alright, Tucker, so you are going to go see Rise, are you?
Mm-hmm. Because it was advised to ask Rise for advice about Puppy and where Puppy could go, with them becoming stronger and more rambunctious. So we're to burn off the energy safely without neglecting them.
Alright. We'll move on to Events 2 number 55, because that is your theme.
Okay. Yay. This is one of the original songs made for our game. There we go. Probably will bring Puppy along too.
I figured you would. Alright, let's move people about a little.
Yeah, Brooke's got some pretty solid rolls there, given how many there's done. Pretty good average.
I agree. Let's see, we have Rise in here somewhere. Pardon me while everything loads.
That's fine.
Yeah, 4 to 5 is the average, so... There you are, goodness.
I forgot Tucker's theme reminded me of Pokemon Arceus.
Oh? How so?
The Legends game, it just has this chill music like this in the main town.
Oh, neat. It does sound like its original composition is SolusOwl made. Thank you, SolusOwl. It does sound like a good little chill Pokemon song, though. It has that good vibe. Oh, I forgot. I think Puppy is still light enough that the ribbons can pick them up. Pick them up?
Yes.
Yeah. That's good for wrangling.
So, when are you going to meet Rise? Are you going to go discuss things with them during the day in the clubhouse? Or are you going to wait until later on?
Probably catch them post-work shift, so later in the night, in the evening.
Okay. Is there anything that Tucker is doing during the rest of the day?
Probably idly finding excuses to use the ribbons just to get a little more used to them, but nothing too major. Mostly just resting up for the big trip that's coming up ahead. And spending more time with Puppy, of course.
Okay. Not going to take anything from the team stash to Blaze. See if they'll add it to your sword.
Well, I have had my eyes on this cluster cleaner piercing, which I just took out again. Plus 2 alert's just a nice little buff. Not sure if that could be added to the sword.
If it's being added to a weapon, it's probably not going to keep a stat like that.
That's right.
But
I didn't think so.
Probably affects something else.
It might. So basically, it might do something else if attempted. All right, then I probably would, unless somebody in the team was like, "No, I wanted that for later."
Because to recap for everyone, you've got the cleaner piercing, a poison barb, the blitz chain. You don't have the magic.
Wait, actually, I forgot. You know what? Poison barb makes way more sense. Actually, let's do that. So in other words, yeah, Tucker will bring the poison barb and ask Blaze if it could be augmented to the weapon. That could definitely be beneficial. And it actually it's something with a type, so I feel like that definitely mixes the sword better.
Alright, I will note that for later then.
Alright.
But I suppose otherwise you just spend time around town with Puppy.
Mm-hmm.
But Blaze gets out in the afternoon, and it feels like it's been quite a while since last you saw them. Or at least got to see them in a personal setting.
You mean Rise?
Yes.
Oh, you said Blaze. Okay.
Oh, I said Blaze? Darn it.
I was momentarily confused. But yeah, that's true. It's been mostly just casual interactions in public settings, and that's part of the reason that Tucker decides to just simply visit them after work, knowing that Rise would not be unwelcome to such a visit. But Tucker will head to their home in the evening. Not too late that Puppy's getting tired, but not too early that Rise doesn't have a little time to unwind before after work. Kind of knowing their schedule a little bit at this point. But Tucker will, using the ribbons, notably, knock on their door.
Coming. And Rise will open the door, blinking slightly in surprise. Oh. I wasn't expecting to see you here today. To what do I have the pleasure? As Rise sidesteps out of the way, allowing Tucker and Puppy into their home.
Tucker graciously enters and gives a polite little head bow. Hi, Rise. Well, my team suggested I come by to ask you a question, actually.
And as you're talking, Puppy bounds inside and starts running around sniffing everything.
Tucker kind of idly uses one of the ribbons, getting quite a bit more used to them now and using them a little bit more casually, pointed to Puppy. As you can probably tell, Puppy's been getting a little more rambunctious lately. And we've been discussing better places for them to be besides the spa.
I understand. I didn't exactly think that was going to last for very long. He glances over at Puppy, who is, for the moment, staring up at the kitchen counter. They feel like there is something up there they could eat. You, meanwhile, can see there is nothing up there. But they smile. Well, you've come to one of the best Pokemon in town, I suppose.
Yeah, you... You seem to know a lot, and you're pretty well traveled, so... the team suggested Mudbray's Ranch, but... Well, I'm just looking for other options to keep the pool open, so to speak.
A wise idea, in case plans fall through. Would you like something to drink?
Sure.
Giving a nod, Rise moves over, gently nudging Puppy out of the way with his tail, and begins making a pot of tea. I'm not certain if I would be a very good pick to take care of such a rambunctious youngster. Not at my age.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking that. Besides, you have work to do, and while I still trust Puppy, there's some decent need of semi-constant supervision, at least until they get their rambunctiousness a bit more under control.
I understand you not leaving them at the daycare. Even with our new, they make a mild face, caretakers, I think that Puppy might be a little bit much for everyone. Mudbray's Ranch is an alright pick, but it's a little out of the way.
Yeah, that's the problem. It'd give Puppy a place to run around and maybe do some work that could burn off some of their energy, but it'd be hard to visit and just make sure everything's going okay.
I mean, there are places I would suggest, but they look over to Puppy as Rya sits on their haunches. Puppy mimics them, and then gets bored a few seconds later and starts running off elsewhere in the house.
Tucker will keep a trained eye on them just in case.
They find the top of the stairs downstairs, and then thump, 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 thump. And then, having discovered the noise of the stairs, thump, 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 all the way back up.
Cute.
Well, I don't think Luxray would really appreciate us foisting this little thing on him.
Especially since books might be somewhat chewable.
Very chewable. Most of the Pokemon I know are too far away. You could ask around town, but I can't think of anyone who'd be in it to be a babysitter.
Especially when that might involve some part-time trainer.
It would be nice if Riley or Lizard were here, but I get the feeling that they wouldn't appreciate it either. They smirk a bit.
Maybe only to a point.
Oh, this is proving to be a more difficult task than I thought. Rise's tail swishes slowly along the floor. The pot begins to whistle. Well, even if they're out of the way, if Rhyda's willing to help you, they shouldn't be more than a teleport away.
That is true. Rhyda managed quite a teleport just bringing us back to town recently. Took a bit out of them, but considering they were recently injured, I'd say they did a great job of that.
And from what I've heard, you came a long distance.
Longer than the ranch, I think.
Well, my second thought would be with Lord Zeal. I know, that's very strange, considering the relationship they've had with Pucciano, but the pride has seemed the understanding sorts.
Tucker gives that a big think for a second, flopping the unflopped ear for a second, and then perking it back up in thought. Actually, I didn't think of that. Yeah, well, while they have had some trouble with that old gang, they never treated me unfairly when I visited around. And being wilds, they might have more of the space and, well, train available to help Puppy get used to their moves and not cause too much trouble. It's not a bad suggestion, actually. And they're not that far. Not really.
Puppy now has their jaws open over in one corner, slowly leaning in like they're going to chew on the edge of the table. And there are some embers flicking at their jaws.
Tucker notices that immediately and leans over with a grabby hand to grab under their belly and whisk them away from any destruction and or burning of furniture. Hey now, that's not for biting or for lighting on fire, so sorry about that.
It's alright.
But
Well,
as you
when I
can
was
see,
younger,
they're learning new moves.
so I noticed. It's fine. When Noibat was younger, they would accidentally use moves too. It's common in younger Pokemon. Sometimes instincts kick in ways that we don't predict.
It's definitely a little hard to predict with this one. They're definitely a different breed than, well, me.
I haven't seen a Pucciano like them before. And then again, I haven't seen terribly many different kinds. Well, I suppose there's benefits to each choice that you have so far. Rise takes the pot of tea off the stove, brings it over to the table, and pours a cup for yourself and for him.
Tucker looks thankful for that, and daintily uses the grabby ribbon to pick it up.
Those are quite handy.
Yeah, I'm getting more used to them. Even made a pretty decent meal of them the other day.
Really? I'm glad they're making your culinary endeavors easier on you. Though hopefully you don't forget how to cook the way I taught you.
I'll definitely use both, honestly, together, probably. But it was a good test of dexterity. I want to make sure these are usable in more pressing situations, too.
Clever. Very clever. But I don't think I'd expect anything less of you, little puppy.
My. He expresses a mighty in a sound, but has that innocent bashfulness, too.
Puppy just hears the word puppy and immediately has their attention on Rise. Their tail is wagging. Well, if you choose to go to Zeal's pride, doubtless, given you are one of the team that helped save the prince, let alone mentor him, they would welcome Puppy in open arms. Or paws, I suppose.
Yes, suppose in a way they kind of do have a lot to appreciate. Still, I wonder if I should get them a gift or something for the trouble.
It might be helpful. And, as an added bonus, they might be able to teach Puppy a thing or two. Given it seems he's already learned Fire Fang.
It does seem like most of their pride are fairly battle-trained.
However, he takes a sip of his tea. If you have some, it's a slightly bitter tea, but it has a nice calming scent to it.
Tucker will happily drink or eat anything Rise makes. So yes.
The issue with going to the Pride is that, frankly, it's the more dangerous place. It wouldn't surprise me if they tried to take Puppy out with them on hunting expeditions. Which, frankly, I wouldn't care for.
Maybe so, even with the scavengers disbanded. I remember the bee drill.
Maybe I'm just overprotective. They look a bit downcast as they stare into their cup. Go ahead and give me an insight survival alert.
Alright. Do.
Okay. One thing you notice as you were keeping an eye on Puppy is that Noibat's things are not here anymore.
Oh. Tucker will think about that a moment and somewhat gently ask, by the way, I noticed Noibat's things are, moved?
Noibat is not going to stay here anymore.
Oh. They move it somewhere else, or?
Well, they've decided to move into your base, actually.
Oh. Like, guess we have the space for them. I'm a little surprised, though. I thought they liked to... Well... Tucker sort of stops himself there, realizing that maybe this conversation's a bit awkward. A little late, of course.
He got Pangoro's approval, and technically, with the approval of Hot Dog and Squirt, I suppose that officially makes him part of your team.
Tucker nods awkwardly, neither wanting to look against or for that. Seeing Rise's expression is not exactly peppy about this. Well, I see. Well, hey, they're not too far, right? Either way.
Oh, of course not. And if they ever decide to come back, I'll accept them, of course.
Sure.
We had an argument about the same things as usual. It'll be fine.
Tucker thinks for a second, then steps a little closer to Rise and gives them a little side nuzzle. I'm sorry that happened.
Rise leans away at first, actually looking guilty over having just sort of blurted that out. And very briefly, they lean away. It's not your fault. I admit I have been overprotective. But I just need to accept they're growing up. I don't want to miss that. I missed it once already.
It's okay to care. Sometimes it's awkward figuring out how to care about somebody. I know that myself with some people I've met.
Yeah. I know how it is. But you already know all about that.
Tucker sadly gives a small nod. Hey, thanks for helping me grow up a bit too.
They manage a little smile and finally look over to Tucker and lean in and give a little head bump. I'm happy to help, Tucker. But look at me, stealing this conversation. This is supposed to be about Puppy. Well, the upside of Mudbray's Ranch is it's safe. The path is patrolled, frequent travelers, a lot of enrichment, but the downside is they could just wander off.
That is a risk.
And, well, I feel like they might terrorize the ranch a little bit.
With the Pride, there's plenty of alert Pokemon there to watch if that happens. Any wandering. That's the upside of that.
Yes. But both choices have their pros and cons. It'll be up to you to decide.
Yeah. I'll bring up everything with the team. Maybe we can pick together and... Tucker looks down at Puppy and gives them a good pat, this time with a proper paw. And I'll try to get Puppy's opinion on the matter too.
Rice nods. It's a little early for them to be, well, giving a fully formed opinion. I get the feeling they'll like it wherever they go. But they are going to miss you.
Now it's Tucker's turn to look a bit guilty. Yeah. They have been, already. I wish I didn't have to leave them for such long periods of time, but... Well, can't exactly bring them along the places we've been, and I'm glad I haven't. Some of our missions have been pretty dangerous.
The Leopard's brow furrows as they look back down at their cup. What you're doing is important. And I understand that there's more that needs to be done. Always more. Just don't make this mistake I did. Make sure you're there for them. Alright?
Tucker gives a resolute nod. I will. I'm still figuring things out, but I have goals and paths, and I will do my best to follow them.
Rise nods. I don't mean to be so dour, but we haven't exactly heard from Team Mischief in far too long. I've begun to worry.
How long has it been now?
One, 2 weeks, maybe? Maybe more. No, definitely more.
Out of character moment. Do we already know about that?
The last y'all heard of Team Mischief, they were going out on some sort of like medical supply mission to go bring supplies somewhere.
Yeah, when did we learn that?
Before you all left for V's mansion.
Oh, okay. Thank you for filling me in. I couldn't quite remember how much information we had. Alright.
And yes, Kyrio is correct. They were heading to the coast.
Was that near Sea Spray or a different coast?
Different coast. If they were heading to Sea Spray, them disappearing would have been very weird because Luxray is in that city.
Was it the West Coast?
I don't think they disclaimed.
Okay. Alright. Thank you, though. Okay, then I know what to respond with. Tucker thinks for a second. Oh, that's right. I think we heard about it before we left on our last major mission. Medical supplies to the coast. We didn't hear too much about it, and I didn't think much of it at the time. It didn't sound like too much trouble.
Well, it was a mission that was rated for their rank. And somehow I doubt they got distracted on their way back. I mean, if I'm being fair, normally it would take 2 weeks just to go there and back. But it's been longer than that.
At this point, yeah. And while they can get into some trouble, they also know how to see things through. They wouldn't dawdle.
And they could have always sent a message.
Do you know where they went exactly? I didn't get the details.
Hold on a moment. I think I have a map somewhere. And as they turn, for the first time in you knowing them, they knock something over on accident with their tail.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. Here, let me clean that up quick.
Oh.
And
It's
they...
alright.
No, really, I should be more attentive. They put on a smile and put their tail through a shadow, bringing out a rag that they then use to wipe down the tea that they spilled.
Tucker doesn't try to show it too strongly, but there's definitely a look of concern on his face because Rya's being clumsy is definitely not normal.
They seem to play it off fairly well. And they head downstairs, likely to go to their little hidey hole, and come back with a rolled up map. They spread it out on the table. It's smaller than, like, the fold out atlas map that Ralph has, but it is a basic map of the continent. They were headed somewhere over here. And they indicate with a paw circling around the western coast. If you can see where my hand is.
Yeah, that general... From Rhyda's Bounty's coastline area to about midway down to about here, yeah. Just gotta do something.
We've gotten word that there was some sort of infection spreading, and we'd intended to perform some relief work. But we haven't heard anything, even by mail. Not for weeks.
An infection, huh? That could be serious. Or it could just be a little bit of a flu.
I doubt it. If it were something regular like that, well, I doubt they'd have been gone so long, let alone the lack of communication, not from them, but also just from that town.
Thanks for letting me know where it is. I can't make any promises. I'm not the team leader, but maybe we can check it out at some point. I mean, it does sound like there's two reasons to. Not only to check on Team Mischief, but to make sure that they carried out their mission over there.
I'd appreciate that, Tucker. I want to go so badly. I really do.
Tucker nods. I'll do the best I can. And, well, don't feel too guilty. They did make the choice to do the mission. They weren't forced into it. Plus, you have things to do here too. That are just as important.
Right. Cooking food and serving drinks.
Too many teams that use that strength to go out and help people. The strength you're giving them.
I know. I used to hate being the one who did all the dirty work. But now that I can't go out and do what I need to do, it's just as bad.
Can't you take a break from your work? Or...
No. I can't. I can't because, well, I was going to take care of everyone.
Your role is important, but I'm sure the community can manage a week without you or something. Still, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. Just...
Give me an insight contest, perform.
Okay. Yeah, Hot Dog's been apprenticing for a while. That's one thought on Tucker's mind.
No,
No,
Kyrio,
it's
you're
fine. That's actually a good interjection. Oh.
Rise has been avoiding eye contact with you this whole time.
Tucker doesn't try to force eye contact, but does reach a paw to gently rest it on Rise's shoulder. Just to be comforting.
Rise is not telling you something. It can't just be his decision to stay because everyone needs him. especially not since he was so ready before to go out and deal with Corpse Fang.
Definitely. And Tucker definitely picks up on that and that fact, because... Wait, actually, was that fact ever shared to Tucker? I don't know if that was ever shared to Tucker.
I thought Tucker was present for that scene. Oh,
yeah.
Tucker was not. Okay.
Yeah. That part is not true, I think. Unless somebody bothered to tell him from the team that was there.
No, I'm gonna rescind that commentary. But instead I will say, from what you understand, given Ryze's past, especially with what he literally felt he had to do with Tiber, this would be a little odd.
Yeah, and obviously, it's obvious, regardless of how much information Tucker has, Ryze not telling something and Tucker picking up on that is pretty easy at this point, with that role especially. Tucker thinks for a second, quietly, but ultimately decides there's no reason to push it. Not right now, at least. Well, for the time being. I know it's hard, but try to relax, and we'll see what we can do to help both Team Mischief, and we'll make sure to help guide Noibat too.
Thank you, Tucker. I never thought I'd see the day where you were comforting me like this.
You helped me get here, with your own comfort. I'll always thank you for that.
I wish I could go back to being that comforting again.
Sometimes we need to take turns, SS, you know?
I suppose.
If you ever need somebody to talk to about anything, I am always willing to listen.
I know, Tucker. And I appreciate it. Really, I do. But you should be living happily. With Puppy. With your team. Not comforting an old cat that can barely get his own priorities straight.
Well, I guess this might be my canine side talking, but I'm happiest when others around me can be happy too. So, anytime you want, just let me know how to help with that.
Okay. Then, can you at least give Noibat this? They're going to slip into shadow, and a few moments later they'll return with a plain, brown-wrapped box. Barely bigger than your snout.
Tucker will gingerly take it with one of the ribbons. Sure. I'll make sure to get to him safely.
Thank you. And thank you for visiting, Tucker.
Tucker does a nod. Of course. And putting the box away into his satchel, Tucker will approach one more time to give one more nuzzle to Ryza's side.
He leans into it briefly, but he doesn't return it.
That seems to be okay with Tucker. Tucker steps back and makes sure to wrangle Puppy back to his side before giving a gentle bow to Rise. Have a good night, Rise. I'll see you again soon.
Sooner than later, please.
Of course.
They smile, and they'll roll all out for Puppy as you and Puppy leave, chuckling a little bit as Puppy immediately nomps onto it as he shuts the door. He makes very small squeaky noises.
As Tucker steps outside and the door closes, Tucker gives Puppy a pat on the head as they play with that, and does a bit of a sigh, knowing very well that something more is going on, but perhaps later they'll learn more. And scene.
Oh boy.
I knew you had something planned there when you went to just isolate us and play the music, because I noticed that at the beginning of the session you said, like, alright, let's try to move a little quickly here, but then for this it's like, alright, we're gonna have a scene. So I was like, oh, quite a bit was learned too.
I wanted to move along the things that could be easily moved along, like not having a shopping episode.
Yeah. Also, I marked the coast area with this pen tool, but I don't know how I did it, but it went in the air.
Oh, yeah, that's because it's the extra table.
Oh, because on the edge, so... I was trying to mark the area, but, thank you for that scene. That was quite... I'm now really curious what else is going on with Rise.
Oh no, you've gotten to see Rise at a low point again.
Rise has been concerningly having a few of those. Certainly understandable, though. With some of the stuff going on, people they care about either in a mysterious situation where they're not reporting in, or they had a fight with them, and yeah. That about made me cry since Solid. Aw. Also, Crash said, Doggy comfort Kitty. Doggy will try to comfort Kitty. It's very clear to Tucker, too, that didn't completely help Rise, but it did at least partially, and that's what matters.
So, I believe that Rhyda and Brooke have a thing happening.
Alright. Tucker does have a report back, but let's wait till the end for that. Thank you, Epic. And thank you to Car for a great scene, too.
Yeah, very heavy emotion. But, yeah.
Okay, so sorry, I didn't hear any affirmation from you. She was like, "Oh no, did Hydra step away?"
No, I'm still here. I just, yeah, big emotion when it comes to that topic. Yeah.
I have one question though. Have we seen Noibat since we got back to town?
You would have seen them periodically because they still function as a Pioneering Club scout.
Yeah. I can't remember if Tucker already knew that they were staying at our clubhouse. Or our HQ. I can't remember if that was brought up or not before this.
Well, I remember initially Noibat was resistant to being on a team committedly, or was not being allowed to.
Right.
as yet because they were still a very fresh pioneer.
And then I remember them getting more agency. Oh, right. That's what I remember. Brooke offered it to Noibat, the idea of staying here.
A while ago, yes.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was pre-V mission? Because I don't believe Noibat came with you guys on the V mission.
He was not committed to at that point. It was sometime after library. Yeah, and I guess he eventually came around to that idea. It sounds like, unfortunately, part of the reason he came around to that idea is because of fighting with Rise. But, yeah. So, Tucker will definitely want to talk to Brooke now. But, I'm not going to interrupt whatever is happening next, because that would be chronologically later, I think.
Yeah.
Well, Brooke will probably want to talk to Noibat in game after Tucker talks to Brooke, so... Yeah, this is definitely opening some story avenues. Hello, Nico. Alright, I'll let Rhyda and Brooke do a thing. I need to pop away just for the restroom real fast, so I'll be right back.
Sure. Time for the words.
For Rhyda, Brooke will be in his office, probably having just finished chatting with Scales. Don't worry, Scales won't vanish entirely. They'll just hide behind the desk as a totodile and eavesdrop, even though they don't have to do it that way.
Love Ghost Companion. Realizing that they're invisible, but yet still acting as though they are visible. But yeah, I'd imagine with Brooke doing their training and fights against people, Rhyda has been basically giving them space to do that while they did their whole alchemy thing, the shopping, and any other prep they had to do. And then finally seeing Brooke in his office would approach, knocking on the door, poking in, asking... It's been a while since I did the Rhyda voice, so forgive me, chat. Is now an apt time to speak with you, Brooke. Yeah, the seal of Tucker. Oof, big feels.
Alright, what did I miss?
Just the setup for the scene, basically.
Also for Rhyda. It's Rhyda.
Oh, I should figure out new music.
I gotta calmly analyze on Rye.
I guess it might be good to ask Tubby if there's anything they want to do during this too.
Indeed. Is there anything you would like Ralph to do? I know you were shopping.
Yeah, I picked up the Reviver Seed, and I don't know if this was talked about, if this was brought to the group as a whole while I was busy not being able to devote my full attention, much to my chagrin.
Mm-hmm.
But Ralph would probably have a thing or two to say about the idea of leaving Puppy with the pride.
Yeah, Tucker will definitely make it possible for... I mean, I don't know if we can have a scene right now because you're working, but like Ralph will be involved later with that conversation too, like knowing those things. Did you catch, by the way, Tubby, did you catch the part where Rise mentioned what was going on with Team Mischief? Because I know Ralph has some feelings about Team Mischief too, so...
You had to in and out, say again.
Oh, did you catch the part about what's going on with Team
I I had to be doing something.
Okay, I'll say it in like a quick sentence so that other people get their scene going. Basically, Team Mischief, they went west to deal with some sort of illness and help people, but they haven't been back in weeks. They haven't been back since before. They left before we left on our last mission. So Rise is real concerned, and Tucker's going to mention it to the team.
Looks like they need the grown-ups to bail them out.
Rude.
That's mean. But yeah, Tucker is concerned about it.
Man, Purloin would have words for you. Also, we can go to events 214. We're going to use Brooke's theme.
Okay.
I know we used it recently, but I like Brooke's theme.
Yeah, it's good. It's also more SolusOwl music.
Rhyda can barely hear muffled voices whispering to each other briefly before it quiets down. Then... Yeah, sure. Come on in.
Rhyda politely steps into the office and closes the door behind them. It's notable that in their hand is a folded piece of paper. Brooke might recognize it as the thing they had with them during the original team meeting, though I don't believe Rhyda showed it off. I think I specifically stated they actually hid it during that meeting.
Yeah, it didn't show to Brooke before.
But yeah, they'll come in and sort of give the polite bow to Brooke. Thank you. I believe you were busy the previous day, so I wish to wait for you when you are available. I suppose, to get to it, we were supposed to discuss the matter after your arrival. So do let me know if you hear popping coming from me.
I think it's okay for now.
Okay, because I have a fidget toy and it makes little pop noises.
I think I vaguely heard it, but it's not distracting.
Okay. Preferred to have the fidget spinner, but my cousin took it back because it was his.
Oh.
Aw.
I really need to get my own.
Well, Kyrio types. I do have one thing to muse, or rather, saying that Tucker is musing about where Team Mischief are going. Well, it's not on the way to Blustery Mesa. I have to ask the critical question: when we're at Blustery Mesa, is there any team that's actually closer to them at that point?
So you could very easily go and ask Pangoro about this.
Ooh, that's true. That might be smart.
I will say that you can likely safely assume that Pangoro is aware that this is an unusual length of time for the team to be in non-contact.
Mm-hmm.
Even by, like, picky peck mail.
Probably unusual, but not alarming yet. I think Rise is probably the more concerned one because, well, it's Rise.
It is Rise.
It's their family, so.
Well, Pangoro is not dismissing the situation out of hand because as far as he knows, it's possible that they may be also quarantined or whatever is going on over in that situation over there.
That's true. Though if that's the case, Rise would be just as worried.
Yeah. The problem is they don't know. And so the safe assumption is he has probably sent another team out by now. Or if he hasn't already, he will shortly.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty fair, yeah.
Not that that would be very comforting for Rise.
Oh.
Brooke nods. Sure. Let's chat about that. He gestures for Rhyda to take a seat in front of his desk. So, it seems like my sudden evolution was a shock to you. So, sorry for being so rash, firstly.
Rhyda does take a seat, and upon hearing Brooke's apologies, sort of shakes their head dismissively. You are not in the position who needs to apologize. That would be me for my reaction towards you. You did nothing wrong in your pursuit of evolution. Merely, it did not match my expectations.
Oh, looks like Beerus had to go to bed.
No beers.
Good night, Mala. Well, Kyrio types, I'm going to briefly go use the restroom. I've been drinking lots of water.
Yeah, me too. It's good to hydrate. This is becoming more of a plot point. I'm starting to wonder what the limits are for Rhyda's teleports.
I know, right?
There's got to be like a distance.
I feel like they
limit where
just
it's
get power scaled so strong all of a sudden. Like,
like you could basically teleport anywhere you are familiar enough with, but like, how far away can you be from that location before that doesn't work right?
yeah, because there's a couple factors when it comes to Rhyda's teleport and how effective they are. You know, familiarity of where it is, the distance, and who they're teleporting.
How many head count? Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, if they were able to teleport everyone from that distance while injured on the brink of collapse, imagine what they could do at like full strength and just teleporting themselves. They could probably like make it across the entire continent.
Probably if it was like light load. Yeah. To be fair, you were also under adrenaline in that situation, though, and you then got knocked out for a little while, and Tucker had to make sure you stayed in bed because you weren't well, so, yeah. But,
It is the designated fast travel system now.
was the plan that when we were gonna leave, you were just immediately the Rya was gonna teleport us to the gallantry, was it? To start out? Or we walked in?
believe Rhyda's gonna teleport us there.
Yeah.
I say like I'm not Rhyda.
I can't remember if Rhyda was ever over there.
Okay, I'm back.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Did the line get read out?
Nope.
Not yet.
Okay. Brooke shrugs. Fair enough. Can't say I expected this either. What exactly did you expect? I'm guessing it's also not just a regular fur alligator. Rhyda is the designated fast travel system now.
At this point, Rhyda unfolds the paper and slides it over to Brooke to show off. While I did not fully anticipate what you would evolve into, I had pictured something akin to this. Though even that is very far-fetched, all things considered, for a normal evolution.
Side
Perhaps
interjection.
I'm still...
The picture up there is actually the sketch that's being shown. I just let the audience know.
Oh, fair. Perhaps I was still picturing you somewhat as I pictured what I can remember of my mistress.
Sorry to get in the way of your line there. I was just like, oh, the sketch is actually being shown in game, so this is a good time for me to make sure the audience knows what I'm showing. Sorry. Because I'm gonna guess that the weird details have to do with that line that Rhyda just said, too.
Yes. Specifically, yeah, even for a normal evolution, this isn't what, the typical expectation is, and yet some part of me is still mixing the visage of you with their mistress.
Yeah, the head fins are particularly notable for that. Which...
Oh wow, someone did get out of here.
What's that, Tubby?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was unmuted.
It's okay.
I was looking over someone else's work and commenting that they didn't do a good job.
we just get the candid camera view of just how Tubby is criticizes coworkers.
At least he's honest.
Driver. At least he's honest, yeah.
Also, no offense to Rhyda's artistic abilities, but those head fins make me wonder, was their mistress a Gyarados?
Yeah, they aren't exactly artistically inclined. Plus, they're also dealing with a bit of amnesia when it comes to remembering specific details. So it's kind of this is the general gist I get, rather than what it looks like.
Yeah.
Based off vibes, not visually picturing something.
Vibes.
Vibe art. Brooke takes a look over the sketch for a moment. I suspected as much. What can you tell me about her? I know I've never really asked before, but maybe we can find her again.
Rhyda looks down at their hands as they think. I do not recall much of her. I recall her having azure-scaled body such as yours, a tan underbelly, and the vivid red from the top of her head. I remember she was kind and cared, and she cared deeply about all of us. Me, the other knights, everyone who served under her. I cared deeply for her. Though she was kind, she was also fairly strong, not to be taken lightly. Charismatic and powerful, a great leader, like you. I suppose that's another thing I see in her, in you.
Now might be a good time to swap to Rhyda's theme, which is Events 3, number 3.
Ooh. I think this might be the first one.
Yeah, I don't think we have played that one. You specifically picked that out, Rhyda.
3-3.
Or Hydra. Isn't this a classical piece?
Yeah, a bit. It's a bit softer too, which kind of fitting, you know. Soft, elegant, somber,
Yeah.
but also gets powerful and somewhat wrathful.
Brooke rubs his head at that. I don't know if I'd call myself a great leader, but I guess I should just take the compliment. Well, sounds like they might be a water Pokemon at least. Could even be another of the Totodile line. Pangoro was a knight, and the Gallantry are still. We can ask around, perhaps.
It would certainly be nice to see her once more. I wish I knew where to look, who to look for, any sort of sign or symbol, but it seems most of what's left of her is gone. My memories mostly faded. The gift that she bestowed upon me destroyed and shattered. Even the sight that I once saw in you has been altered. You don't look like her anymore, and I must admit that it's quite painful and selfish of me to have wanted you to stay the same way. How's the Rhyda voice? On point or?
I'd say at some point.
I'd say so.
Okay.
Hopefully I'm doing okay too.
No, if
That's
there's
good.
anyone whose voice is I'm worried about right now, I'm worried if I did Rise correctly, and I'm worrying if I'm doing Brooke any justice.
You always have a little more leeway in my book because you have so many voices that you're working with.
Mm-hmm.
But also I think you've been doing fine. I guess I would say that Brooke sounds a little Pangoro-ish, but
Yeah.
but I didn't.
Because I
think
know
you're
that
focusing
Brooke's
on it.
voice got deeper.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
tricky. Like we're still figuring it out. Much like how I'm still kind of in my awkward period for my Mayana voice, but also evolving makes you have an awkward period with your voice. Unless you're Ralph, in which case you
That was
sound
the-
exactly the same.
That was legit one of my biggest worries about evolving is, shoot, what's my new voice gonna be?
But
Yet, by keeping your voice the same, it has remained iconic.
and it's worked just fine because I don't know, the voice is perfectly fine for both the Munchlax and a Starlax, so works.
The only thing I'd change about Rhyda's voice is giving it a bit more inflection and maybe emotional tone.
Well, I know Rhyda was going to work on that.
Mhm.
Rhyda, Brooke says softly but firmly. This won't be much comfort, but you know that I am not your mistress, and I certainly don't want to steal any of her valor. So it's probably for the best that our resemblance has faded.
Like a dagger through the heart.
You just leave this dagger in there to twist it a little bit.
Oh, don't worry, you can make room next to the others, and there's someone my back too.
Aw. And also on the subject of Rhyda working on the emotions, I think that's what Chris said. I think that involves Tucker too, a little bit.
Mhm.
That being said, even if your head and your orb are broken, you still have her in your heart. And the fact that you feel disappointment makes that clear. Nothing will ever take that from you.
Rhyda sort of looks as if they're going to say something before just closing their mouth and clenching their hands tight, unable to look Brooke directly in the eyes. And you see as they have a bit of a shaky breath. And then finally uttering something. I understand it's for the best that I do not recall what happened. Rather, it's for the best that you don't look like her. I know I still have some remnant of what she was. And I will keep holding on for as long as I can until I find her, find what happened. It still hurts when everything reminds me of her, and yet I'm just out of reach.
Right, in this conversation, is there any point where you're looking away?
Yeah, Rhyda's not looking towards Brooke. They're looking down at their hands, at their chest, their glances occasionally going to the side of them, just anywhere to distract them from looking directly at Brooke.
Give me an insight survival alert, please.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
One of your glances briefly takes your gaze toward the pool that Brooke has in his office. And for a very brief moment, you think you can see her, a fraction of her, in the water.
imagine Rhyda doing a double take before just letting out a displeased sigh when it turns out not to be true, and just clenching their fists tighter with a sense of anger and frustration. Suppose it would also be apt to mention that as Rhyda is getting more emotional, we'll say, their horn is starting to crackle a bit. I would choose a perfect song for Rhyda.
Oh, epic. Have you never played Slay the Princess? There's always more heart to stab.
No, not that one. Slay the Princess is a good game. Very philosophical.
Believe me, I know how you feel, Brooke says, standing up and moving around his desk to kneel before them. Nothing quite compares to the feeling of knowing you lost something, but being unable to understand what it was. Not that Rhyda would see, but standing behind them is Scales. For alligator again. Silent. Sympathetic.
I'll wait for Kyrio to finish typing before I...
It hurts not just because it's gone, but because you know that you forgot. It was so precious, and yet somehow you managed to lose the very memory of it. It sears into your chest.
As Brooke speaks, Rhyda starts to cry. Not for anything, just tears. Gentle, quiet tears as they stare vacantly towards Brooke. Just listening. To be fair, Epic, Rhyda has always been pain and suffering. They've just started becoming more about it. You know, because they have an actual support system, people to talk to.
Can make all the difference.
Gonna be honest, Epic wasn't exactly planning on this being an episode of pain and suffering, but you know.
Yeah, but suffering builds character.
Yep. It hurts. It makes you angry. It makes you sad. You want to blame someone, but who else is there but yourself? But it isn't your fault, Brooke says, brushing a finger around their cracked one.
You have to think about that.
That's fair. Brooke is not super touchy-feely usually, so...
Mm-hmm.
You were injured. It happens in the line of duty. So instead, maybe question who was it that did this to you. Scales nods in grim silence. They choose to fade away without making their presence known.
Rhyda is slow to react. And as you sort of trace around, it almost seems to make their eyes light up like they remembered something. And they think hard to themselves. I can't really remember. It was a large figure, much like my mistress. It's different. I was supposed to be doing something. I can't remember what it was. Then the thing went sideways. I was on the ground, so she said something to me. But I think it was something along the lines of what you said. Blame myself. Where else were I forgot.
Yeah, I didn't
What
quite
were her
catch
last
the-
words before I forgot? Anyone remember what I just said? I'm sorry. I kind of just spew out words and then I'm like, oh yeah.
It was like a sad soft voice, so I had trouble hearing it too. Sorry.
Yeah,
I apologize.
I think your mic had difficulty catching everything.
No.
But
Yeah.
the gist of what I understood was Rhyda was saying that there was a large figure like her mistress, but different. And they were supposed to be Rhyda was supposed to be doing something. And then they were on the ground. And they could remember their mistress saying something. But they can't quite remember what.
Mm-hmm. But they do remember that it was probably something along the lines of what Brooke said on blaming himself. Gee, you think?
Hey, that's a start, Brooke says. Well, if she's saying stuff similar to me, then she's probably pretty smart. He grins. Sounds like what happened to you wasn't entirely unexpected, though, since she didn't want you blaming yourself for it.
It's a good point. Trying to be selective of what I share and what I don't share, and I really have to think hard. Like, do I want to say this? Okay to say now? You know?
Yeah.
I know it can be tempting to shut off the feelings that make you hurt, but ignoring the problem won't make it go away, Brooke says. And wallowing in those feelings of guilt won't help much either. So, in lieu of your mistress, I'm giving you a special mission. Find more information on your past and the ghost haunting you. Okay?
Rhyda looks a bit surprised by this request. I do not wish to get in the way of your mission. After all, it's my job to serve the team.
I'm sorry I'm not interjecting any
No,
middle
it's fine.
dialogue. I just feel seen interrupting. Also don't have anything particularly important to say.
Yeah, it's not exactly the most chipper of tones.
And that's fine.
Mhm. It's an important conversation.
Brooke waves it off. Our mission isn't that big a deal. Team Cheer is just a bunch of pioneers. We do odd jobs for Pokemon who need help. And most of all, we help each other. So once you've confronted your past, help us return the favor.
Rhyda looks up at Brooke and gives a slight nod. Very well. Thank you. I will do my best.
One last thing, Brooke says. While it is important for you to find what you lost, you are not defined by it. Whatever it is that you discover on this road, Team Cheer will always have your back. Okay?
Yes, of course. Though I may not recall what I lost, I'm grateful for what I've gained. I hope I can find what happened to my mistress, where she may be. And regardless of the outcome, I still hope to be a part of your team.
Long as you do you do. Wow. Butchered that. Long as you do, you will be, Brooke says, giving a little head pat before standing up. He picks up the sketch again and turns to Bit. Bit too frilly for me. He smirks and hands it back.
Rhyda gives a slight smile, seeming a bit forced, but then trying to give a genuine attempt. I suppose I should produce something more accurate for the next time. That's interesting lore.
Say that you do, Brooke smirks. I have plenty of decent qualities to capture now. And if you need anything for your mission, just let me know. I'll even pull some strings with Pangoro if I have to. Brooke says, "We're all in this together, Rhyda."
Rhyda gives a determined nod. Thank you, Brooke.
You're dismissed, Brooke says, and ask Hot Dog for a honey roll. It'll help with the anxious knot in the belly.
Very well. Rhyda will stand and give their polite bow as they head towards the door. And reaching for the handle, they stop, looking over their shoulder towards Brooke before turning back and heading out.
When you look over
And-
your shoulder, please roll Will.
Oh. Oh. Technically one, because Lucky Chant.
I'm going to avoid Lucky Chant for this one. No. I'm going to say no, because you are completely unaware of this.
Damn you. Damn you, Bale.
Curse you, Bale! Don't worry, you'll get your curse you, Bale moment. Eventually. But no, you glance back, and you see her. The face is missing, as though scratched out by a charcoal pencil. And the moment you blink, she's gone, and it's Brooke.
Oh,
Rhyda sort of gives a slight sigh and shakes their head. And then they head out. Though they're disappointed. On one hand, they're disappointed that they didn't actually see her, but on the other hand, they are somewhat glad that Brooke is there.
Okay, now you can give me an insight survival alert check at -4. Don't worry, this isn't nearly as traumatic a roll. That is a 3. I'll let you have lucky chat for this one.
Okay.
Oh shoot, I need to pull up stats.
Oh god.
It's fine. I just need I need a certain companion's stats.
Ooh.
Where are you?
Upgraded from
Is this
ice
the right
to
one?
baseball bat.
So
It
honey roll.
is-
That's gotta be the next. That's gotta be the next thing Tucker knows. Learns how to cook. Yeah.
Okay, it's only 6. You have a chance of seeing this. Never mind. All right.
Yes.
So Rhyda, you go off and down the stairs to get to the kitchen to where Hot Dog is, because you were told to go get a honey roll.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see as the door to Brooke's office swings shut, and Deadeye was standing right behind it. Once Rhyda leaves, Brooke
Dun, dun, dun.
sighs. Man, what a messy situation. I hope that was the right thing to say. Deadeye's gonna just step in as the door is closing on its own. Only a few days and you're having trouble, are you? I don't know why everyone's so surprised. Deadeye is around. They're not going to be hunting 100% of the time.
Also, they keep consistently thwarting Rhyda, so it's just too.
At least he waited till after.
Clearly, that was a very private conversation, so he just decided to wait his turn. As I struggle to get all these voices right, I'm slowly getting back into it. Brooke scoffs. Please. I've not stopped having trouble since I woke up on this continent. He grins. Well, that's what makes it so fun. I suppose so. And Deadeye is going to pull from their poncho a bottle and leave it on Brooke's desk, taking a seat. This time, I made sure that Rise paid me with something. After this little moment, we will get to the scene with Tucker and Ralph, and probably also Brooke.
Alright.
And that'll be probably where we'll end after that for tonight.
Okay.
Why has the chat box become translucent? I don't like it.
Sorry about that. I was just trying to... I was seeing if I could adjust the font size just to make it a little more readable.
Oh,
and
I know.
then it decided to do that. I don't know why it did that.
Yeah, I did that and sort of messed with things a little bit too, and it became translucent.
All I did was
don't
change the font
understand.
size. I think if this was I think if I remember correctly, this is a glitch of it that's existed a long time ago. I don't remember how to fix it. There's a way though.
Oh well, I won't worry about it. I'll just move it over a portion of the table where I can read.
Okay, I'll go see if I can fix it on the side.
Huh. I think we should make sure its quality matches the value of your time, then, Brooke says with bravado before chuckling. 20 pokies says I get through 2 drinks this time. Deal. Later, however. It's a little early to drink. And they smirk. And they just reach out and take the bottle. Just thought I should remind you for later. No fun, Brooke says. Did you just come to show off then? Yes and no. There were things I was going to talk about, but you could use some relaxation first. Another time, another day. Nothing pressing. Appreciate it, Brooke says with a smile. I could use a soak. My scales are almost as flaky as yours. Dead Eye rolls their one good eye. Ah, so clever. I'd offer to join you, but I have work to do. They turn on their heel to leave. Never a busybody. Suit yourself, says. See you tonight then, D. He winks. Hey, Brooke, go ahead and give me an insight survival alert check.
So I know how to bring the color back. I'll tell you at the end of the session.
Yeah, I figured it out too.
It's in a completely different area, but you can fix it.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
Never mind. You see nothing.
Nothing at all. Wait, is this again related to Deadeye is just making everybody fail rolls.
Yeah, Deadeye just leaves the office.
He's a ghost.
No,
No wonder why everyone finds him
No,
so
it's not like
attractive.
they vanished or anything. This was, yes, being insanely oblivious is honestly in character. The dice have agreed. We can swap, I suppose, for this next
Wait a
scene.
minute. That's a nice lampshade. Jedi went.
We can now swap to Ralph's theme, which is Events 2, number 42.
Okay, and real fast for you, Car, just to make your life easier. Oh, this page is loading. That's always fun. Anyways, menu, configuration, interface, theme. Scroll it way down to background pit and mess with that to bring back the chat's color behind it. Okay, let me try loading that page again. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna have to hit the refresh button on this. Also, sorry. I know that pulls it up for everybody. We're playing everybody's character theme. Yay! Another one by SolusOwl. Unique for Ralph.
Yes. So, Tucker is returning back to base. If I recall this correctly.
Yep, after the taco of rice.
Indeed. Is going to be having a chat with at least Ralph and Brooke.
Yeah.
Rhyda, meanwhile, is probably down in the kitchen bothering Hot Dog, who you could hear relatively distantly, like, Who the heck keeps telling people I make honey rolls?
That's a sweet hot dog, so you make honey rolls.
These are supposed to be for my lunch.
Oh my god, you make honey rolls?
Ah! Gout of flame exits kitchen door.
Everyone just wants to steal his lunch dessert over and over again.
What, did somebody steal your sweet roll?
The first thing that pops into my head is the scene from the scene from SpongeBob where he's like, "Hey, all you people! Hey, all you people! Hey, all you people! Won't you listen to me?" There's Ralph doing that and telling the whole town they fix titles. That's the first thing that pops into my head.
It is getting late for Kyrio, so if this isn't something we think we can wrap up shortly, we can always do it next time.
Maybe next time, because, I mean, Tucker did at least want to approach Brooke, though Ralph's certainly willing to, welcome to listen in. Honestly, it'd probably be better for Ralph next time, too. And for Ralph dialogue next time, too, thinking about it. But what Tucker would be bringing up would be the puppy updates about the idea of, Zill and Pride and going over there, maybe. And also, of course, updates about Team Mischief and their little mission and what's going on with that. So, and then Tucker's going to bring up some things involving that too, some suggestions. So, yeah, probably safe for next time, I'd say.
Okay. And
that sounds like a whole team discussion anyway. So
it's a proper discussion. It may affect plans or side quests or such.
Okay, then that'll be next time. And yeah, when it comes to shopping, you can look at anything that's up here where the items are and ask if you can buy it. I'll tell you right now, the vitamins are off limits, but garments will be expensive. And yeah, there is the character RP channel if necessary, if things can't wait. But
actually, since you're randomly bringing that up, I don't have. Tucker still doesn't have a hold item. Has a slot open for that, so I'm gonna look at that.
There's a lot of items.
Not sure if they're within the budget, but
probably not. Held items and garments are going to be quite expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead and ask me about anything you're not certain on, because the prices may not necessarily be what's on the card, if the card even has a price.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't realize it was already like 10:20.
It's okay.
In which case, everybody, please take 5 experience for this session. I will put Ralph's in for him.
Wow. 5.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, time does fly. It went faster than I thought. But yeah, that was excellent roleplay. We may not have left town, but we progressed, which we're getting back into the swing of things, so I'm pleased.
Definitely. Yeah, I know what Kyrio's typing, actually. Oh, okay, maybe that.
Yeah.
Does Kyrio get extra for fighting a bunch of people? Or does Rook get extra for fighting a bunch of people?
Kyrio picked instead to get training pips. I have applied them.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Nice.
Unless Kyrio wanted them on something new, in which case we can discuss that.
Wait, initiative +2, that sounds kind of nice. Or, the Quick Claw has an initiative +2 icon, but it actually says initiative. Huh.
Oh, yeah, there are some odd spelling and grammar things.
Thanks, Kyrio. Hope you have a good night.
Good night. I think I'm going to get an extra pip in. Because I realize I only have 4, which isn't that much.
Huh.
Be
Razor
nice
Fang
to
would
use
be
my
nice.
healing mode. Or just, Rhyda's determinations. They do that a lot. Overexerting themselves.
Wait, I thought I was looking at Razor Fang and then I was thinking to myself, didn't I have a Razor Fang effect for something? Maybe I was mistaken.
You have +1 damage die for Fang moves, and
Oh, right, that's what I have. Razor Fang
Yeah.
adds flinch. No, that's right, Brooke had a Razor Fang.
yeah,
Or somebody
Brooke had the thing that gets flinch to everything.
Yeah, that's
forget what
probably
it's
what I'm
called.
thinking about. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it's somewhere.
That might have been used in the creation of his weapon.
I think it was. That explains where it's gone. Yeah, that's right. Kyrio just said that. Initiative
Yeah.
+2 Quick Claw. Okay, what about... Okay, I'll ask about the price for a Quick Claw then.
So, I'll say unless something is particularly powerful, most held items will range anywhere from 500 to 1,000 poke. And
Okay.
garments flat out are 1,000 poke standard.
I'll be honest, it's actually a little cheaper than I thought.
You guys just have more money than the average party.
Also, Razor Claw has... What's that symbol mean? Let me look it over. I think that's just...
That's high crit. That would make every move you have high critical.
Restore critical hit with just 4 successes. Oh, that might be more useful than... Okay, is that... how much is Razor Claw then? Probably the same, that 500,000 range still? Or...
Razor Claw
Wait, that's
specifically...
rare. That's rare. It's labeled as rare, so...
Yeah. Well, you've also got ones that only give +1 damage die to certain move types as rare for some reason when really they ought to be just uncommon. Like, for some reason, the +2 strength Lucky Punch is uncommon, but it's like, for you guys, that would be really strong.
Hi, Liko. Who won? I think Brooke won most of his fights he had. That's the only winner, I think, in this situation.
Rhyda most definitely won and lost.
Aw.
Unfortunately, because of how strong it is to have high critical, I would say that it will be 1,500 to 2,000 for a Razor Claw.
That's fair, honestly. I kind of thought the same way.
I know it's just +2 damage dice, but that's really good.
Wait, what's the difference between a King's Rock and a Razor Fang?
Nothing.
One's rare. I guess that's it. Yeah.
The only difference being that a King's Rock is used to evolve certain Pokemon, i.e. Slowpoke to Slowking.
So does Razor Fang add flinch to like everything or physical or
Yes.
everything?
Everything.
Okay. That seems pretty powerful actually. I guess I'll ask if Razor Fang is that 1,000 or?
Yeah, Razor Fang would be 1,000. Because it is a chance die.
Okay. Is it procurable in Savan or?
I would say yes.
Okay. I'm still a little I think I didn't quite get the plot on when Brooke asked everybody to probably get some Reviver Seeds. I wasn't sure if 1 or 2 was being requested. So either I should buy a Reviver Seed or I should buy a Razor Fang.
You already have one.
I do. I
Brooke-
started with one.
Brooke was asking, I assume, under the assumption that, nobody had one.
Yeah, I assume when he specifically said everybody should have a couple of everybody should get a couple of Reviver Seeds. I assume that means he meant kind of collectively.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in that case, unless there's...
So,
Yeah, you got one, and I think, well, probably Brooke got,
Ralph got one.
Brooke got one, Ralph got... Yes,
Mr.
everybody has one
everyone
covered.
has one.
That's probably what you need. Okay, then unless there's any complaints, I think I'll pick up a Razorfang.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I need you to exit so I can
Oh,
grab
right.
it.
Sorry. And I'm guessing with moves that already flinch, that means another die for them.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of... I'd say flinch is a pretty strong thing for Enos, so... Like,
Yeah,
you can
the
think
main
around it pretty
thing
easy.
with basic held items is that weapons are held items. So it requires swapping if you have a weapon if you want the effect of the held item. But
Yeah.
usually the weapon is better in its own way because it's a move that you can repeat.
Yeah. Also, it's possible...
I'll throw this out.
Mhm.
I'll throw this out there. If another party member is a little bit short on money and they think an item will help them do better,
Oh, wait.
Ralph will totally spot him.
There's my money. That's true. That's true. Wait, so Ralph would do what now?
Spot someone money.
Like Ralph would be-
it was worth
Oh,
it.
spot the money. Oh, yeah, because Ralph would.
Share some of his money if another team is like, hey, I think this item will help us, survive or overcome the challenges.
Yeah. Ralph, good guy. Also, Kyrio said it was a director. Yeah, that's true, but Brooke would... Tucker would take Brooke's suggestions strongly, so... Seriously, that is. But yeah, did you catch how to fix your background for your text box?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, I fixed it.
I think that was a glitch that existed for literally over a year, where if you mess with the font size, it just breaks the box behind it, and then you have to go to a different section.
TTS is not getting updates anymore, as far as I know.
Yeah, his fans is just gonna be stuck with that glitch.
Yeah, so I will assume that this is where we're stuck at. It's fine. It's functional. That is the point.
It mostly works. That was a good session, though. A lot of going on. Good return to form. I don't really feel like we lost the beat, despite the big break we took.
Yeah, I was worried about Rhyda's scene because I feel like I was worried that I might have lost the whole vibe,
No,
You
not at all.
Oh gosh, I have to... One thing I do need to remember. Okay, so my strength limit is 6. I'm at 5. My dex limit is 4. I'm at 4. My vite limit is 6. Because remember how there's modifiers. That's why I have to remember. I'm at 6,
You're
so
at
I'm pulling that.
6.
Special length max is 4. I'm at 3. Insight max is 4. I'm at 4. Okay. Just want to see... Because eventually I want to get all those pips that I can get for that. And the cost of that is, 10 times current score. Which means I can't afford anything just yet. I have to wait a little bit. Wait, actually, no. I could get a special.
You could get special, which also levels up cute by 1.
More cute. That's you know what? That's... And also, I'm mostly stuck with Dex using moves and not so much special moves, but there are, of course, exceptions to that, like Dark Pulse, or sorry, Strength using moves, not special. But I got Dark Pulse, and that's it for now. But I do intend to hopefully get more later. Also, special is used for cute. Yeah, it ups cute. Does it up anything else?
No.
Yeah. Wait, no, it doesn't affect your defenses. That's all vitality and insight, right?
Insight is special defense, vitality is defense. You are a tanky puppy.
Tanky puppy. I think I have the biggest defense stats of anyone. Let's see.
That is correct.
4/4, 5/4. Not the most HP. 6/5 is At least,
Oh.
it's quite a bit more.
I wonder if I accidentally deleted the Snorlax thing that was up here for Ralph.
It's relaxing?
Yeah, everybody else has their Pokemon except for Ralph.
Oh.
Oh well.
Their Pokemon? Oh, that
yeah,
thing, the
above
card.
The thing.
Okay,
Yeah, that has the
tell you-
banana.
Tell you what, let me do a quick save. We haven't quite ended the episode, but that's okay, because I think a little point spinning, a little catch up after the fact is fine, especially with the break we've taken. Let me save the table. So 1 second.
I honestly think it's a good thing to include the like after chat of the session and like point buying stuff. Also,
I think it's a
helps
nice.
for, like,
It's a wind down
referencing
for the
later on.
video as well. It's a nice wind down for the video as well, because the cold stop too quickly feels kind of weird after a bunch of narration.
Mhm.
Okay, saved. Okay, there. It wasn't saving. All right, I'm gonna load an older version of the table. Let's take a look. It's kind of warning you guys. Basically, just today's start. That's why I'm loading. No, it was still. Wow, when did it disappear?
Oh,
Let's go back
okay.
further.
Maybe he just didn't have it.
I feel like he did at one point. And let me go back a couple more saves. Hold on.
Maybe it got accidentally deleted ages ago.
I think I just may have gone deleted. We just didn't notice. Yeah, see, this is a March save, and there it is. I will. I think if I hit copy and then load the current table and hit paste, that should work. I think
I believe so.
I shall do so. Oh, how'd you disconnect? I hope I didn't just crash you.
No, that was me disconnecting on.
Okay, just making
yeah.
sure.
I'm gonna head out, grab a snack, and
There it
maybe
is.
hang with my boyfriend. Okay.
All right, have a good time with that. Thanks for
Have a
playing.
night.
Bye. Thanks for the
Bye.
game. Good night.
Good night. All right,
That I
there's-
need to
there's Kurt.
eat dinner and go to bed.
Okay, you have a good night too, Car. I'll go ahead and do the video outro by myself. No problem. Or with Tubby.
Okay. Have a good night, all.
Good night. Thank you for the game. Okay, and there we go. Put that song back on. Good night, Jizu Crash. Thanks for coming, everybody. I'm gonna end the episode in just a little bit for YouTube. I wanted to maybe buy a special point. I either could buy a special point right now, or I could wait a little bit, and then I could buy a strength point, or that's kind of it. I can either buy a special point now or a strength point later. And by later I mean in 7 experience. It's not that much. 7 experience is not that much. It might be 2 sessions though, unless we get into a fight next session. So here's the thing. Most of my moves use strength, so it might be better just to hold off a little bit. Like for the damage pool, you can see strength +2, strength +2, special +3. Dark Pulse is benefited by special. Strength +2, strength +2, strength +2. Even Shadow Sneak, the ghosty move, strength. But special would still benefit Dark Pulse, which is a very dynamic move and can do a lot of things. I imagine I can use it even better now that I have dark dangly ribbons to also... I mean, they're made of dark, so I'm pretty sure they can channel Dark Pulse. Don't think that'll be a problem. In fact, I think the stone that originally gave me Dark Pulse was integral into their creation into the garment, if I remember. So, yeah, pretty linked. Yeah, the Onyx Gem is given 2 Dark Gripping Ribbons. The Onyx Gem being what previously contained Dark Pulse as a move. For I basically just kind of ate up that energy, basically. So, it's very channelable through them. So yeah, now, of course, the big benefit of getting the special... Actually, I just realized, wow, my socials... The secondary... I don't know what these are called. What are these? What is Tough, Cold, Beauty, Cute, and Smart called? Because I know that we have the primary stats, which are the attributes, and then we have skills, which are the 3... They have the 3 up here. And then we have the little green pip ones are specialties. Oh, social attribute. That's what it's called. Social attribute. But I've almost... I can very feasibly max my social attributes if I just get something that makes me smarter. And then I'll be a social master. Let's see. Alternatively, of course, I could also buy something over here too, which I think I'm gonna save up for strength. I think I'm gonna get that last strength pip. I think I do want to fill out on special too, but I think I'll do that second. Since the difference is really just in experience, it's not that far off for either one, so I guess I'll stop there for now. Having bought nothing as usual, but at least this time I have a plan. I didn't buy nothing, because I do have, of course, I gotta remember I have Razor Fang now, and I should add a flinch die to everything I do. Well, if it does damage. I don't think I can make somebody flinch if I use Baby Doll Eyes. That'd be kind of odd. But yeah, it has to be an attack move. But hello, Tubby.
Howdy ho, howdy ho.
Yeah, you got anything you want to say before I end the? Do you want to talk about anything before I end the video properly? Floor is yours if you want a second.
The floor is mine, and it's made of floor, and it's great. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say.
I'm also glad you were able to still kind of hang out today and talk some. Just giving us that Tubby and Ralph present still, even if you couldn't play full.
Yeah.
So your work randomly picking work days. Is that gonna be? So how what's like the percentage roll chance of this lining up poorly of Pokerole? Because it happened twice really recently. It's like RNG though, right?
Couldn't be high because I'm not getting a lot of hours anyway.
You have to take what you get because you don't have that many. I know that much. Like you have to take it if it's available.
Yeah. I swear to God, they roll a fucking dice for my schedule. Though that might be just fast food in general. Like, I never have the same schedule long.
Fast food is chaotic, so yeah, it might just be fast food in general that works that way. And you don't know your schedule until like the weekend is happening, right?
No, I never know it. I never know it very far in advance. I have like it's a pretty common occurrence that the last day of the pay period I work, the next schedule isn't up. So a couple of days later, I call and like, hey, I need to know when I come in.
Yeah.
The schedule wasn't done yet when I worked last.
And I think you mentioned at a previous time that you have made a request of please try to leave my Wednesdays open.
Yes, that was a different manager ago.
Yeah,
it was the same
I
job.
see.
I have just been here longer than my current DM.
Oh, so you're kind of having growing pains of a new manager then.
Yeah, I've been here longer than anyone else at the store, actually.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, like, every single other person who works at the store, I've been here longer than I've probably seen the entire cast rotate out 2 or 3 times. Yeah, I've been working at the same damn place for like 8 years. I'm going on 9 or so.
Wow. You're real consistent, Tubby.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I bring up...
like my consistency. I do like my consistency.
I hope that you, being a longtime member of their staff, I hope that they can give you. I hope they can schedule you for having your windows available a little more. Hopefully, I think you kind of earned it.
I haven't. I just haven't talked to this GM about it. I talked to the last GM about it.
Oh, I see. You kind of set it up with the other person, but not this person. I guess I would just request of you if you can find a moment to talk to them. It's just hard to do in fast food. I get it. Everyone's so busy. But if you can find a moment to talk to them about how you have pretty consistent Wednesday plans, and if you could be scheduled around that, that'd be better. But the reason I bring that up on the video itself, this is normally a conversation that probably would happen after the video outro, but I just want to say that we had a long break. Obviously, if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, you are probably aware we had a pretty big break here, and it wasn't anybody's fault in particular. Nobody should feel bad. We all had different things. Every single one of us had reasons to say we couldn't do Pokerole on different days. And I just want to explain that most of those things have been organized. Kyrio was doing a lot of moving. That's over. He literally just finished today, I think. So he's like going to be able to consistently play now. Car was doing a vacation at one point. That vacation's over, so he's able to consistently play. I was having some problems, like, mentally and emotionally, so that there was a week I couldn't play because that was getting so bad. And I'm not saying that necessarily is all fixed and better. It's a big process involving our desire to move, our being alone. There's a lot going on. It's very complex. But I think at this point I've stabilized well enough that I should be back and running on all Pokerole episodes in the future, for at least for the next few months. And so I guess it's really just up to, of course, Tubby, I think we can play without you if need be, since everybody else is consistent. Obviously, we'd prefer to have you, but hopefully your work can arrange better with Pokerole in the future.
I think I can.
Yeah, just gotta get that talk done, I guess.
I would just be back to morning shifts. Mm-hmm. But that's also one of the drawbacks of having worked there 9 years, is you know every position, whether you want to or not.
You've experienced the full gamut at this point. But yeah, I just want to reassure our audience that while there might be, if we're getting lucky, there might be another slightly absent Tubby, but we should be back on Pokerole, so don't worry, there's not going to be another giant break. We should be back on, so expect Pokerole. And I don't know if at this point, I'm not sure if we're counting this one as a catch-up session. I don't think we've discussed that. So probably Pokerole in 2 weeks, unless we decide we want to do another one next week because it's been so long. We might decide that. I don't know. I'll talk to the group about that. But don't you worry. There will be more Pokerole than another couple weeks. So please look forward to that. And thank you, audience, for sticking around. We had a good deal of viewerships. I think we went up to 35, which is pretty good for Twitch these days. So thank you for everybody for coming on Twitch. Thank you, of course, YouTube audience as well for watching. And yeah, stick with us because we're not done yet. Good night, everyone. And I'll see you. Any last things you want to say, Tubby, before I outro?
No.
Okay. We can keep talking after the outro, of course. But for now, that's the end of this episode. Episode number, what was it again? Episode 149. So please come next time within a week or two, where we're going to do episode 150. We're almost hitting the same number as Gen 1's Pokemon decks. Oh boy. See you then, guys, and thank you very much for watching.